Hey folks, it's Gareth Brown here. I'm the CEO and co-founder at Clir Renewables. What I wanted to do today was talk about one of the really great challenges that we're seeing in the marketplace, which is the siloing of data and expertise in our industry. And I mean between companies, but also within companies as well. Why I say this is, look, our industry is very, very young. I mean, when I started out, a megawatt PV plant was a pretty big project. Seeing the gigawatt plus scale projects go in the ground now is incredible, and seeing the 10 megawatt plus offshore wind farms being deployed in the market is also incredible to see as well. So it's been amazing to see where we can take the industry, but we are very, very young. The technology is very fluid and it's changing all the time, and we're trying to iterate, improve, and keep up. And we're also doing it on a scale that we've never done before, and trying to get the expertise and the data and everything to kind of push that forward. And that presents some challenges as we go forward, but it also presents a huge opportunity for us to learn faster, because we're making assumptions at every stage of an asset. We're making assumptions at the development of the technology, the development of the farm, the financing, the construction, the operations, the refinancing, the repowering, whatever it is. And the decisions and the assumptions that we're making at those stages really impact the other stages as well. And what we see today is we have a lot of expertise in making sure that the day-to-day running of assets is really well understood, but the linkage between these development phases isn't necessarily well understood. So for instance, I was in with a 2 gigawatt scale owner last week on a Zoom call, and talking about how this site operations team labeled the data and where it feeds back. And the comment, it was a really common comment there, where this really isn't feeding into our finance team, or this really isn't feeding into our development team, when a lot of the assumptions that we're making there are being done in a kind of a blind way. So we're not making the most of the data in front of us, whether it's how that power curve is performing, it's how that solar farm is tracking the sun. And I don't just mean doing this in an ad hoc way, but making sure the whole data model that you have in place is designed to test these assumptions as we go forward. And so this impacts development teams, it impacts financing teams, but it also impacts the M&A side. And a quick example of this is recently we had a client who had existing assets on our platform, but was like, oh, I'm interested in buying some more wind farms. How do I can I get the same type of assessments at the M&A stage that we're able to get in the platform now for the live assets? So what they were able to do was actually onboard the asset before they buy it. So they were able to onboard it, assess the asset health, look at the near-term health issues, the long-term health issues as well. Like, how is that? How are the components doing right now from the signals coming off the asset, but also looking at the meteorological loading conditions as well. But then looking at the optimization side, am I yawing correctly? Is my leading edge erosion okay? Is my can I apply an OEM upgrade here, which would actually increase the output there? And then lastly, on the technical financial risk, being able to look at the energy yield and the p-values around that, and the certainty that they can have in the production, all the while using their existing assets to benchmark against it, so that they can see where would this asset rank in our fleet? How would it compare to similar projects there? Am I getting the information that I need to really understand the asset before I bring it on? So the buyer in this case had health assessments, optimization, the technical financial risk, so they could put a more informed bid on the asset, understanding the upside and downside risks scenarios around the asset. So labeling data, I'll kind of summarize there, is so key. And it's not just key for the operations teams, it's key for all the other aspects of your business, whether it's M&A, financing, or development there. And if you would like to have a conversation around this, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn anytime. I would love to chat. And and the wider team is also available at clir.eco. Have a brilliant week.